Before we start this video, I'd like to give a special announcement. If you have not heard, this is the last official chapter of Zipman because it has been officially canceled by Shonen Jump. So, stay tuned for a special announcement at the end of the video to see what I'll be doing afterwards. So this chapter starts off with the chairman in his giant Cthulhu form destroying Tokyo, with a lot of people reacting to it and the team being one of the groups. And Kaname and Koshiro, of course, are going to be the only two people able to fight their chairman properly because they're the only people that are being able to stop the chairman currently right now. And almost immediately the fight starts. And the chairman begins to throw out giant energy waves or slashes at them that when on contact with any material surface seems to become like a zipper almost, and the team is not doing so well. Kaname and Koshiro are completely, flabbergasted at that fact and are like, holy crap, he's stupidly powerful, we better be careful. So the boys come up with a plan, and their first part of the plan is for Kaname to start swinging immediately without the plan being, totally explained at first. And even when Kaname starts slashing at the chairman's foot, it's not even denting his suit at all. It's not even cutting him. It's just being placed on him, basically, is how I would describe it. And right before the chairman tries to attack Kaname, kind of like squishing him, basically, Koshiro shows up to save his ass. And Koshiro kind of uses his ball and chain to wrap it around the chairman to, stagger him a bit. And Kaname comes in to deliver a huge blow to the chairman's suit. And the next page, we see Kaname in the air. Great art, by the way. Ready to pull down the zipper on the chairman's giant suit. And the chairman doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's like, huh? How'd you get up there? And Kaname just gets up, grabs the zipper, and just straight down pulls it and destroys his suit. It's fucking awesome. With the chairman defeated, everything kind of goes back to normal. All of the proto suits are just kind of going offline. Everybody's just fucking happy they're alive. And the team sees Kaname and Koshiro back from the fight, and everyone's just smiling and being happy, and Cheetah's smiling, and so I find this really funny. Both of the brothers kind of look at each other and are like, all right, who made her smile, me or you? Because that brotherly rivalry is still going on. You love to see it, you truly do. So with the chairman defeated, we kind of move into the epilogue of the chapter. So the epilogue kind of begins with this Kaname and Koshiro kind of have their own TV show, similar to in the beginning of the series Jackman had his own TV show. They kind of eventually became super immortalized in the media in a sense. Their identities are still a mystery, of course, but they've just become super marketable now after the fact. And eventually we cut to Koshiro kind of talking at a meeting before he's about to present some new stuff and other things at his Steel X company. And he's basically kind of reflecting back on all the events that kind of transpired over the short couple months of, of the whole Zipman thing. And he's just kind of just answering questions, basically like a Q&A session, which is kind of funny since, being a YouTuber and Q&As, even though I've never done one though. And we see what society's kind of become in the next page. Basically, the suits are being used by regular people, or policemen, delivery people, firemen, basically stuff like that. Which I'm also assuming that Steel X made these things. Koshiro's company has been giving them out to the public for, uses for everyday life, basically. They're it seems like it's going pretty well, basically, on the surface level. But, some people will use these suits for bad things, and they do kind of reference that a little bit later on. And then we get to the final 2 pages of Zipman, and basically, it's kind of, how I would say, 2 monologues at the same time. Basically, it's Kaname and Koshiro kind of, talking to each other without seeing each other. They're just kind of saying, yeah, we walk the same path, but in our own different way, basically. And it's kind of super heartfelt, and them kind of just being brothers and just trying to say, we're going to be the reason why, we're going to save people with these suits, we're going to be the justice that defends everybody, basically. And it's really nice and heartwarming. Really great end to a pretty great manga series. Well, you already know what time it is, boys. It's the side note portion of my chapter reviews. What did I think about the last chapter of Zipman? Surprisingly, it had a very good ending, even though it was probably rushed a bit. Which is surprising because a lot of manga that usually get axed pretty early don't have a really good ending. But surprisingly, I'm okay with this one. Even though the fight with the chairman could have been a bit longer, in my personal opinion, everything else is pretty fine. The epilogue basically summarized what the world was like after the fact, because, you know, a lot of times we never get to see what happens after the main character beats the big old bad guy. But this time we do, which is very good. I like that. I like that a lot. And also seeing what's kind of become of society is pretty interesting. You know, Kanami's become a police officer. Koshira's kind of like grown to be more of a chairman, you know, like a big person in authority. So seeing that's also pretty cool. Just basically seeing what people have become is super interesting, and I like that a lot. Well, I don't really have a lot to talk about. Basically, you know, the fight was short and sweet. Everything kind of got resolved in the end. People grew up and evolved. Not really much to talk about other than that. So I probably have to give the rating for this chapter. I'd probably give it a solid 7 out of 10. You know, it was good. Like, it wasn't like extraordinary or like super emotional and stuff. It was just, you know, an ending to a great manga. Just like, yep, here's the after effect. Here was the fight. There you go. The end. Short and sweet. 7 out of 10. Nothing too crazy. But, like I said in the beginning of the video, I did have an announcement. Since Zipman is ending, of course, I have to kind of move on and try to get something on the channel. So I've been thinking recently to myself, and on Twitter, shameless plug, to review a new series. That series being Chainsaw Man. And holy crap, when I'm being totally serious when I say this. It's one of the greatest manga right now in shonen by far. Like, I personally feel like it's better than a lot of stuff right now, and I'm going to be super happy reviewing it on the channel next week. So this is the last Zipman review. Thank you. Well, that's the end of the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, stay hydrated. See you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen.